everything catch up. Okay, so for the ones joining tomorrow, etc., tonight's paint along is the main man, it's Merlin, SPR13, Saga Age of Invasions. He's along to help Arthur out. So stick that over the art away from it whilst I knock them light around. Let's grab a fresh brush. So I hope everyone's been good. So I'm speaking to the people that are watching. Please watch back on this one at the moment. It's slightly early. But ahoy. Welcome to Friday. I'm just sipping at my coffee at the moment. Waiting to get going. I think it's all running. Yeah, I was just trying it with my glasses. I thought it's frozen on the computer. But it's because I'm not doing anything at the moment. So I start doing something. Okay, here we go. We're going in. Right, this is the man himself, Mr. Merlin, Mr. Magic. So let's start off with Moonstone Skin. It's been a very hectic week. Been busy, busy, busy. Let's load up with some matte medium. If you guys in the comments have tried my matte medium recipe, let us know what you think. If you've not, check out the video. It's a little short video. Everyone always asks, what's the stuff you dip your brush in? Well, it's matte medium. Just laying that flesh tone down. Okay, so we're going to go for a white tunic. So we're going to start with. What should we go? Let's start with Great Hall Grey. What we're going to do, we're going to thin that with our medium. Ahoy, shipmate! How goes it? Dog snoring. The world is right. We're thinning this grey down. Just giving I think it's what people tune in for, really. Oh, let's show you. Let's grab one of your Greek guys. How's that? Grab the boss guy. Sorry about this, folks, for diving off topic. Yeah, that was today's painting. They're all painted apart from the shields. Are the back of those shields wooden? I know that they're edged and faced in bronze usually, aren't they? Okay, so I just taxi's run out of fuel out the front. See if his battery's got enough guff to get some more fuel through. Cool. Okay, so that's our base colour on his tunic. Just left off my coffee before it goes completely cold. Sorry guys, excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. So, we're going to start with a very black, bluish grey night sky. So I'm going to follow roughly the Merlin on the website, but we're going to deviate as well. Yes, I've had a very Lord of the Ringsy week this week, as you could see. Also very busy getting in touch with war game shows kind of week as well. That's all been very exciting. Yeah, we're filling that right out with the medium. Get them nice and flat. Alright, so leathery brown. Cool. Top info, Rich. Oh, pardon me. Yes, so those who didn't know, I mentioned it a few times. We did the Attack show last weekend, hence us being on here Thursday night. which was very enjoyable, and I met lots of fun people, which is good. I had a good time. So I thought, I'm going to do that again. So the first thing I decided was, okay, there's a lot of shows up north, so I'm going to have to get a new car because I've got a bit of an old banger. So there's been a car hunt going on. So I will be at BritCon now. Oh, did I just say that? I just didn't say that out loud, did I? Okay. Allegedly. Because it's not been announced yet. Yeah, we've got a few more from the show, which was kind of cool. So hopefully I can push on a bit more at the show. So I think we've booked Newbury as well now. Colours. That's Newbury, isn't it? So yeah, we'll be selling obviously the painted miniatures. We'll also be carrying Griffin B stock. And I've also got a wedge of old Lord of the Rings stuff. So let's make them hopefully an interesting little store. Yeah, I'm going to get up really early Saturday morning and drive there in my wife's tiny little Ford car. So who knows, I'll be able to walk when I get there. I'm going for Tundra Taupe, which is like a olivey brown colour. It's a deep olive brown colour. I'll just do his trousers. Something sort of standard. You actually booked into game, are you, Rich? Or are you just chillaxing? Yeah, so that'd be cool. You can see how the matte medium just makes everything run that little bit easier onto the... Ah. It's one of these miniatures that's going to paint deceptively quickly. Yes, Andy, I've Darren's posted me some out today. He's posted me 3 sets, so hopefully I'll have those painted up, ready to go. But yeah, fair shout, mate. Yeah, I'll be bringing with me. So I'll be bringing some saga. Well, pretty much what I did at Attack. I just took a load of GB miniatures, and I tell you what did sell really, really well, and it was really pleasing for me was um, I painted a load of old D&D miniatures up because I was fed up with. They come from a very old friend, and they were like the miniatures that we had in the 80s and 90s, and I picked them up from down near coast, and thought, these guys, what am I going to do with them? And I thought, well, they've got to go down a dungeon, so we got them painted up and started biffing them out there. Just putting a little bit more. That's that grey. I'm just giving it a second coat, just so it's nice and groovy. Because there's not masses and masses of detail on this guy. You could just keep him really plain and simple and really bash him through really quick. But since we had the time, I'm gonna. Ah, how goes it? If my memory's correct. Cody. Cody? Is that right? Or I'll get it wrong. Tell me off if I'm wrong. Corey. I was wrong, wasn't I? Sorry, I've been asleep since then. Sorry, sorry, my friend. So yeah, so just giving a second layer of that grey, because we thinned it out with medium anyway, so it's nice and thin. But the bluey grey is thick enough on its own, so we don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to drop some deep grey. For his heart. I'm going to have a good example tonight of when you get a table. This is, I was trying to all along suggest people to paint that you can get stuff to like tabletop ready pretty quick. Well done. Remember to use ionized water though, because otherwise it goes stinky with normal water in it. So we just lay that deep grey as a base of the hair. We're going to just tidy that bit of grey. Where we thinned it, was running around a bit. So oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, distilled water's fine. Yeah, it's just basically so when I first made it, I just used tap water, and then I couldn't work out why it had gone all stinky after a little while. I had stinky paint. So I always say to people, don't do that. Especially if you're a bit of a brush licker like I am. You don't want stagnant water around. So as you can see what I'm saying, it's kind of very, very quickly building up. So we can start with desert yellow for his staff. We've only been going, yeah. We've been going 20 minutes, so you can see this is one of those quick paint miniatures, really. But we're going to do some extra work. Yeah, it's good fun to muck around with that medium. You'd be surprised how thin you can go with your paint and it still cover. I'm just going over with the same colour. Just give a, as Duncan was saying, 2 thin coats. Okay. So we start with night skies. The next one is a thunderous blue. Yeah, we're gonna layer up the highlights, keeping our paints nice and thin. So we're gonna add a bit of medium to our brush, medium to the paint, stretch the paint out on the palette, a bit more medium in that. See how loose it is in the brush. And then I'm just going to paint all these ridges in. And all I'm going to leave is that original colour right in the deepest recesses. Where we're going quite thin, just got to be careful it doesn't run down the side of the slopes too much. See, I just was kind of start in the middle and work down the edges till you're happy with it, really. Evening, Mr. Clonk. Just run down the centre, just a little bit down the edges there. So let's come work down into those recesses a bit more. But concentrate your brighter colour on the high bit and then work into it. It'll stop you just painting completely over the... You don't want to completely cover the first layer, but seeing as that was just our baseline, we can afford to cover quite a bit of it. This is where the medium works the best. If you keep thinning that, you can almost treat it like a glaze on this. Well, you can make them into glazes. Any paint into a glaze kind of thing. Just laying it down. And then we're going to go around it again. And we're just going to strengthen that colour up. Again, leaving the crevices, as it were. There we go. Leave that for dry a sec, and we're gonna. How are we gonna? We're just gonna go straight to agate skin. We're not gonna wash it tonight. We do it all with paint. We might put a little bit of tone in there in a minute, just to square it off. So we've done moonstone skin. This is the next tone up. So now we want to go bridge of the nose, forehead. Focus is jumping in and out. Sorry, guys. It's another week I've not sorted out. I thought I'd cracked it earlier. So he's got quite pronounced cheekbones, if you can see them. It's quite easy to pick the highlight already. That. I'm gonna have to get that sorted. He's happy it's been about there. Sorry, chaps. Just highlight the fingers out. Then we're going to grab, oh, pardon me, bubbly barium flesh. A little tiny bit of medium in the brush. I always like a little bit in there. I'm going to just hit across the top of his nose there. Right across the top of his eyebrows. Top of the cheekbones. Little lip there. On the top edge of these fingers. Maybe just a little tiny dabble on the back there. I'm just kind of dotting that in there just so it throws a little highlight. And on his leggings, we're going to go for prairie ochre as a highlight. Dark yellowish brown. A bit dry that one. Let's give it another shake. It's got a little bit gummed up. That's it. That's enough that. Sorry about that, chaps. Happens during the hot weather. There's a bit of paint on that cap, it will inevitably dry up a bit. Just for a few randomy highlights under there. That's quite a big jump in that triad, actually. Right, so Yog. So next we're going to go for our tabard again. So we're going to Worn Stone. We started with Great Hall Grey, which one there? Great Hall Grey. Yeah, do you remember I did that with the speed paints when I first tried them? I think I left it on the video. Yeah, that was warning people that if they don't if they don't squeeze out easily, shake them up again because one of the ball bearings has been stuck in there. Important safety tip from Rich, for those that can't see the chat. If you're shaking a pot of paint that's got ball bearings in it, and after shaking you can't squeeze it out, don't keep squeezing harder because it means your ball bearing's stuck up the pipe. You give it a little bang on the table, shake it some more, and have another go. I think on the first speed paint video I did, I squeezed a whole pot of speed paint straight into my plastic palette, luckily enough. So I was able to avoid a mess. So yeah, it's Worn Stone. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go and pick out the high areas of it. Leave the recesses. So anyone painting along this week? Anyone doing any painting? Or done any painting? Or intends to do some painting? You all intend to do some painting, I suppose. Okay, so with the Night Sky Thunderous Blue, so let's go for Stratos Blue. So this is, and his ball bearings rattling like crazy. So now we're gonna get medium in there. Can we pick out the center of these raised edges, the center of the cloak there? Got a bit on the white arm. Just wash your brush out. Wash the air off. There we go. Load up the blue again. So we're looking for the top of these ridges. We don't want to go down the edges. Doesn't matter for a little bit though, as I was running thin paint, some of it might just, but we're just trying our best. And there's bigger areas that are more in the daylight, we're gonna make them that solid highlight colour. What you're trying to achieve is a gradual shift in that difference between your low on your highlight. The more colours you use, the thinner you make it, the more gradual the gradient is, the more natural it looks. If you don't, this happens. This is one of my first ever painted miniatures. That's what you'll end up with. There's not much gradient between a black and a red, and I didn't know this at the time. You see how old that is. Yeah. At least I was thinking about leaving dark areas in the dark areas. That's a mixture of TSR AD&D paint, and I think that might be enamel on the back there. I did promise someone the other day I'd put my first attempt at eyes up. Here it is. Scary eyes. Rah. I seem to remember I did the dot with a dressmaking pin by dipping it into. Bloop. Okay, on with the show. Let's look at that white now. We're going to go for Brain Matter Beige now. We're thinning it out a bit, making sure our brush is loaded correctly. And we're just going for the highlights now on this. Let's rule that top edge of fabric fold. The amount of people that was at the no, I can't paint, and I love seeing everyone's paint. I love looking at my old paint jobs as well. Just looking at paint jobs, just you learn. Wolf Grey, you find better ways of doing stuff. You get tips off people. You see something you like, and think, I want to try that. This is, yeah, it's Wolf Grey is a really light blue. So now you've got to be really make sure your brush is loaded correctly, and we're just doing the edge there, and we go right down the middle, but not a complete line. We just break the line up. So just run it down the these top bits. I think it's having the confidence of, you know, when you got something, when you first start out, you got no confidence that you're going to have to paint that eye. When you realise you can do it, you just got to find the best way it works for you, really. And Karen swears by the Rosemary and Co brushes. I've not tried, to be honest, I've not tried a Rosemary and Co one. The only Kalinsky style ones I use is the Winsor & Newton and the Army Paint ones. I find very good. I generally use these ones from made in China. That says custom made for Pirate Rich. I don't think it does. It probably means do not use this brush. Just so talking about brushes, it's as if we summoned Karen to the room. Good evening, Karen. We're just saying that obviously translates to custom made for Pirate Rich. It doesn't say cheap, crappy brush from Amazon, £8 for 20. I think it's more. I think it's more than that. I think it's £8 for 30, maybe. So, okay, so we've done the grey highlight onto him. Right, let's do his stuff before I lose my track altogether. We need to wasteland clay. So we've been building up the layers on it because he's quite a straightforward paint. It seems that whole brown section must be in the daylight there when the sun comes through in the morning. Let's kind of thickened it all up. Yeah. So yeah, next brown on their staff. Because you want to look highlight, you're going to just come down the front side of that. Have to be a bit more 3D on the top because we can see the back, so it just leave some gaps. There we go. I'm going to give him a thin wash over. I'm thinking of giving it a nice thin wash. We'll do that in a sec. But we'll use our boot leather. Do the strap around there as well. Okay. Yeah. That's why I keep pins in there. Oh dear. It's not good. Let's get some greedy gold going. He's got a bit of a cloak brooch, what are they called? Cloak pins? Nice big, obviously magical ring. That is a good tip to keep a wire spear. The pins don't quite cut it, do they? Not quite long enough. Oh, focus it. It doesn't seem to like that area there. My old camera loved it there. So we will change the settings a bit. Get Reichland shade, flesh shade mixed with romantic army painter. Just like a mix in there. I'm just going to lay a bit, just darken around the edge of that face before I paint the eyeballs in. I'm going to use some on the leather shoes. There's quite a bit of red in that. There we go. Then there's one called light tone. Where's that gone? Light tone. Soft tone's obviously very soft, but the light tone's got a bit more sepia in it. We'll dab about. So, okay. Put quite a bit of medium into it. Good work, Mr. Clonk. Save the world, one carpet at a time. Yeah, so that light tone is really quite sepia paste. So what I do is I always put quite a bit of medium in there. Hit that. Okay, so where we've used it on the white there, it's going to look kind of weird on camera. So what I do is wash the brush back out, put a drop of medium in it, and then I paint the medium on ever so slightly onto the areas I don't want to look dirty. So those high areas that want to look very white, I'm just going to wash the medium back into the gully. There we go. Just give us a nice overall effect. I like that. That's what I do. Because we've done so many layers, I just want that to re-establish the dark area. So I'm going to get the blue tone and do the same thing. I'm going to use the medium in the brush, then load it up with blue. Then I'm just going to paint. You can see how much thinner that is. Right, I'll do this one with the thin one next to it with pure blue. You'll see the difference. Okay, so that obviously just looks wet. This is the pure medium. Can you see? You can actually see the blue in that. You don't want that. So we've done all that subtle shading. So we want to use a subtle tone. So we're using it like more like a glaze. We thin it out. I think artists call it a filter, I believe. Karen will now put me right. Am I right, Karen? They call this. As far as I can tell, it's kind of the same thing. It's not the same thing, it kind of achieves the same goal. What I'm trying to do is, you're looking through this layer of blue, so it blends all the rest, sort of changes their hue. Is it hue? And if you keep going, if you make that very thin, let that layer dry and thin, eventually it'd go pure blue and you'd lose everything. So don't go mad with it. We don't want you to lose all the work you've done. Just try and enhance it a bit. So next I'm going to grab the dark tone. Now the dark tone is definitely one you've got to be careful with. If you like using stuff straight out of the box, instead of the dark tone, get what you call it, the Nuln oil, because it's a bit thinner than the army paint one. But I like the choice to be able to thin it or not. I'm not going to thin this one, so I'm going to go into that very dark grey bearded area. I'm just going to be really careful I don't lay it down anywhere else. Yeah, so Merlin here will be coming to BritCon, I think. I've ordered some new trays. That'd be cool. So now we want just a little bit of this flesh shade for the gold. So usually we do this to do the heavy lifting of our paint job, but we've done it the other way around tonight. We've done the heavy lifting, so we're now using it as a little bit of an enhancer job. And as ever, we're just making sure that flesh tone gets onto those gold areas. Sits in there. Can use like a sepia ink for that as well. That's quite cool. I'm talking about sepia. We've got that light tone in there, so we're gonna not water it down this time. We're gonna run it down that staff because it's a yellowy brown anyway. So that really, apart from the eyeballs, is our basic eyeballs and highlight in the hair. That's what we're going to do next. And then we're going to do some fancy stuff. Because everyone likes a bit of fancy stuff. So let's paint the base in. If I can find the... Put it over here. From a base brown. Make a check. I usually check it in one of the brown washes and just add a little bit to it. Then we're gonna add a bit more medium to our brush. Yeah, this is oak brown, watered down with lots of medium basically. I do that so some of these, when it dries, some of the medium shows through, and it's like you've highlighted. It's a bit like reverse dry brushing in a lot of respects. You can thin it out even more than that. Depends what you want to achieve. If you want to add some green and browns into it, you can do that. Just water it down a bit more. You're starting to look something now. Where have we gone? 55 minutes we're in. And this is what I was saying about it being tabletop ready. To be honest, if you chucked some tufts on him and lacquered him, he's ready to go, isn't he? we shall not stop there, because we've only been on channel for 55 minutes. So we shall keep going. And as Kenny Boucher would say, take it to the next level. That was the guy I was trying to remember the other Friday. Next Level Painting with Kenny Boucher. If you want to watch a good, I love his painting style. And he's so much fun to watch. Anyone watch that? And another good one, Paint All the Minis, is good as well. He's very funny. He has a paint off with a guy called Nin John, who's also a very good painter. I think it was Nin John, and they decided to get drunk and paint. So that's quite an interesting video. I'll have to try that sometime. Sit here and get drunk and see what happens. We all know what's going to happen. Once all the rum's gone. Yeah, it's a nice one now. I think some of these older sculpts have got so much character to them. You know what I mean? You know, all that flavour going on in there. How are we doing on the drying? Yeah, that's pretty dry. So we can carry on. So next we're going to grab some matte white. And I'm going to grab our Psycho. And we're going to paint some eyeballs. There's been a lot of people asking me at this show about painting eyeballs, so if any of you guys get to watch this, it's what I said to do. First of all, grip your miniature in your left hand. Put your left hand against your desk. So it's very hard to joggle that about. Okay, I'm locking my left elbow between my side and my chair. So there's no movement there. Next, I'm going to load up with medium. I'm going to load in the brush. I'm going to brace my right hand against my left hand, and the whole lot can't move now. And I'm going to get to the eye, and I'm going to just gently listen to the dog snort. There we go. All right. I'm not going to try and do the second one. I'm going to wash my brush back out. That brush mustn't dry out. As Mr. Clonk pointed out earlier on, in fairness, any decent brush under a 3-0, again, lock in hand, lock the other hand, so it's only these fingers that can move. Paint it in there. Make sure that the shape you want. Once you've painted the black bit in, you can always go back around a little flesh and just touch it up anyway. At the moment he's a zombie Merlin. Yeah, so as I was saying, if you get a decent brush with a decent tip on it, the tip will be the same as this little brush. It's not the size of the brush, it's the pointiness of the tip, as it were. So if you're looking at, if you get one of the Kalinsky brushes, do you see? I'm knocked it against my hand at the time. So the Kalinsky on the right has got the same point. Do you get my drift? So if you keep your nice brushes nice and pointed, I just find it's easier just to keep this bad boy, just to do very fine detail. And then the hairs wear down and goes smaller, but it doesn't lose its tip. I would say though, when you buy these Psycho brushes, or the other one's called, I can't remember what the other one's called. One's called Psycho. I can't remember what the little one is called. Insane, I think. They don't, when they come out, when you get them, they're not always brilliant. You've got to use them for a bit until they kind of wear in. So bear with them. Okay, so we're going to paint the black dots now in the middle of the eyes. Same thing, lock your hands off. When we're placing the black dots, a good tip is if you try and place them right in the center of the eyes, okay, first up you end up like that with a fried egg. Okay, then if you do the second one and it's off, you end up with like a boss-eyed or a cross-eyed. So I always aim for just off center, and then when you do the second one you can match it. So if you go slightly, as we look at it, right off center, go slightly right off center on the other eye, and they very rarely look too much out then. Whereas if you try and get it right dead center, they do. So we're gonna get quite enough black on there. Being an old cast, there's a groove cut in there as well. So as you can see, or maybe can't see, can't really see on video. So just slightly right of center. So we go to this eyeball, we're going to go just right of center. If it's not flowing, it's not flowing. No matter how much you jab about in there, it's not going to go black. So come back out, reload your brush. Go again, that went all out of focus then, sorry guys. I can't kind of keep an eye on the screen and there we go. So that one on the right just needs a little bit of flesh around it. Hello mate. How was band practice? So go back to our highest of the fleshes. Well, we've got a little brush out. I'm just going to run around top of the bottom. If you don't want to do it with the flesh, you could you can always run a little bit of dark tone in there, something like that. Don't usually have to straighten the eyes very much, but there's one sculpted slightly different. It's like one's flat and one's got like a little groove in there. They put the groove in there so you can run paint into it. There we go. That's cool. Okay, so that's a basic figure down. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do some freehand, because everyone likes seeing a little bit of freehand. So first of all, I'm going to put a drop of matte medium into the white on our palette. And I'm going to move our palette across so I don't have to hunt for the paint. And what we're going to do Where are we going to place this? Interesting. Start our design. I mean, to be honest, I quite like him plain, but so you could stop before this bit if you want. I've got pesky arm rests on this new chair that kind of flick round when you lean against them. Dog's bored of it. I thought, what should I put onto Merlin's cloak? Yeah, just so you guys know, I am kind of taking all these miniatures to the shows now, or jamming them up onto eBay because I've completely run out of space. But if you guys are interested in any of them, probably X is the best place to, or Facebook. And just drop us a message saying that I'd like that, please, and we can come to some sort of arrangement. I hate for someone to miss out on a mini they wanted, you know. But come and see me at a show. That'd be awesome. So again, it's very similar. Painting the eyeballs, really, just lock everything in. There we go. So, what should we do this side? Well, if anyone knows the story, story of Merlin. So we're going to have to paint us. Oh, sorry about the blurriness there. It seems to work best there, doesn't it? Yes, the Merlin story, as I was saying. The trouble is when you're just freehanding a dragon on to a miniature, you kind of go a bit quiet. Sorry, guys. Rich, tell them the story of Merlin and the two dragons. He googled it. Yeah? No takers on the story. Every so often, these little brushes need a bit of a clean out because the paint dries up in them. So, yeah. Is it Geoffrey of Monmouth or Bede or not? I can't remember. I think it tells the story of the two dragons in the lake. Just, that's the thing with when you're freehanding, just keep working at it. I'll go back to have a look at this one, see if there's anything more strength on it. Ah, there we go. Oh, sorry, buddy. He needs a leg, doesn't he? Rather, he's a wife and nothing like that. So we turn this one into the red dragon. And that would be the evil, nasty white one. Mm. Well, I was trying to think of something to put on his cloak, because otherwise this would have been quite a short video, because he's quite a straightforward mini. So that was the idea I come up with, is to freehand a couple of dragons onto his cloak. And do one red, and leave one white. Oh, pardon me. So next, take that off and let's get some. Let's use dragon red. Why not? It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Let's grab my Plitsky. I'm just going to gently use my white as a template. If I run off that with the red, it's just where it go over the blue, it look a bit darker, so it just look like a bit of shading. Yeah, it's pretty right to kind of what I understand. Thank you, Captain Google. I call it Captain Fact. It's a Richie factoid. Yes, so look up the tale of Merlin and the red and white dragon. Then you'll understand why I'm painting a red and white dragon. If you do make a mistake, or you want to thin something out, all you do is you grab your middle blue and just use it as a paint eraser. So let's show you what I mean. So let's change this fire a little bit. So we're just gonna use our blue. Let's fill a gap between that. Let's just go round, tidy stuff up. There we go. That's it. Don't be scared of freehand. Yeah. That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Tin Tadgel, isn't it, Karen? I suppose it depends which story you believe. So just choosing this blue, just to gently thin some of these lines out. To make it even cooler. Makes it look like how do you do that without making mistakes? Well, you don't do it without making mistakes. You rough it out, then you tidy it up, then you tidy it up a second time. Have fun with it. It's your mini. Have fun. There we go. So we got a red dragon fighting a white dragon. So what we can do now, we can do his beard. Let's find the lid for our... Always pop the lid back on your pointy brushes, because that means they'll keep the point on them. So we're going to go... Oh, let's turn that down. Sorry about that. So next grey is uniform grey. For his hair. Come over that way again. Medium in our brush. We're just gonna look over our start picking out the highlights. And I'm just leaving the very recessed areas, that dark grey. He's coming along, isn't he? The sculptors give us a load of area to work on. It seems a shame not to play around with it, really. As I said, about the 55-minute mark, we were kind of tabletop ready. So now we put another, what, half an hour in? Cheers, Mr. Clonk. So the uniform grey, so let's go up to the next grey, which is ash. A bit much paint on the brush there. I'm just going to the higher areas, leaving those recesses. I'm using the edge of the brush to pick those highest areas of hair out, and think about at the top for the highlight, like we said, work around like a halo. There we go. Yeah, Glastonbury Tor. Yeah, because it used to get Glastonbury Tor used to be cut off by floods, didn't it? Right, we're going to go up to Company Grey, which is a even lighter one again. I've not been at Glastonbury for ages. Sorry, that's my crazy chair again. Okay, we're covering just the edges now. And as ever, I'll finish this off and before I get back onto Richard's commission. Or there's a little one I wouldn't mind shoving in if you're not in the rush for yours, Rich. It's about 6 Uruk high. That's cool with you, mate. Hi, Nick, you right? So now I'll put some of that same light grey but quite thick. And I'm just finding some really high areas. So right around that halo we talked about, going around the top of his head. There we go. Yeah, I'll wait for those transfers for the ones I've just done. Ready, you know. I'll probably start putting some of the others together in a minute. Right, I think we're about there on that one. Didn't you? So when there's a lacquered in there, look a bit more natural. You could go back over with that blue wash. It's done very thin. It would do a blue tint onto that white, which would work. But yeah, so I'll paint the edge black like I usually do. Do a victory lap. And then well, I might as well do it on camera because it's only an hour and 20 minutes. I might as well do it whilst you're here so we can chat. How's that sound? So we're going to paint. Oh dear. Next door neighbours bringing their tired child home, I think. This is the victory lap, we call this. Now we've got seagulls to make Karen feel home. I imported them specially. Yes, I've got bucket loads of paint to do before BrickCon. So I can bring some lovely, lovely miniatures for people. Should be awesome. Plus, we'll have some juggler miniatures for the juggler display. Thank you, Andy. It's a fair shout. Right, let's get some tufts on there. So my favourite tufts are still Gamer's Grass. Griffin Beast have them, and also Great Escape Games. Very nice chaps. Big shout out to them. Right, I'm a belt and braces man, so I chuck a bit of glue down. To be honest, these self-adhesive ones are cool for getting them in the right place. But how many of us end up with our foam boxes and that end up with like loads of these foam things these grass things everywhere because they just fall off. So they don't if you put a dab of super glue under them. And always fluff them up a bit with the tweezers. Make sure I've got no extra bits on there. It makes a massive difference to the miniature. Let's get a little round one there. There we go. I think they're about $4.50 a thing. I know at the shows and that he does. If you buy so many, you get one free. Always buy them in bulk from him. Stuart's a very nice man. Let's put them away. They're just the mixed green 6mm I'm using. 70 on a card for $4.50, and then I buy dry green 6mm 144s. Same price, so just mix a few round ones in. It makes your funny shaped ones last longer. Done it. Well, let's put the glue away before I stick something that shouldn't be stuck to. Ben's not here, is he? He's probably stuck somewhere. Okay, so let's have a look what we got. Here he is. Friend to Mr. King Arthur. Merlin. With his resplendent cloak. All ready for Saga, Age of Invasions. But more important, he's ready for BritCon. Did I mention I'm going to BritCon? Oh, I must be mad. To get the table set up, I'm going to have to get there like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to have to leave here about 5. Oh no, probably 4. 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to have to leave here about 4:30. Well, thank you very much, guys. Unless there's any questions, I think he's about done. Very similar colours to the one on the website. I'm not sure who's credited painting that one. I didn't look, I'm afraid, so I can't give him a shout out. But yeah, all we did was make him a little bit more blue rather than grey and check the drag on him. So I'll get him in, once he's lacquered, I'll get him in the light box and get him on Facebook, X and Blue Sky, and so you guys can have a look at him. Well, thank you for joining me, and if you're joining me now because you're watching this on Watchback, you've still joined me. That's pretty cool. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and ring the notification thing. I'm intending on, oh no, not next week. The next week I should be on Friday night, I think. But I may have, I'm going to try and do a off-the-cuff live paint along on one of the juggler miniatures. So watch out for that. Glad you can join us, Clunky, my friend. And cheers, Rich. And cheers, everyone else. And I think we're only about 11 subscribers or 20 subscribers away from the big thou. So if you could drop us a subscribe if you haven't, that'd be brilliant. And we'll see you again. Thank you for joining me. And good night. Have a good weekend.